This story's caught the attention of deep sea experts here in central New York, including the rest of us, people all over the world wondering what's going to happen. Allura Lagarde talked to some of those experts late today. Allura?
Well, Matt, when speaking to a scientist, he tells me hearing sound is the first hopeful news regarding the Titan. But the next step is locating the source of that sound. Time is ticking to find the OceanGate Titan, with oxygen running out along with other supplies like food and water. In it were 5 people, including OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush. Dr. Jeff Karson, a geologist at SU who wrote the book on the seafloor and ocean crust, says another worry is the ocean's freezing temperature at that depth and the limited insulation within the subvessel.
As cold as it is and with the exposure and so forth, they may suffer some level of hypothermia or something like that.
The U.S. Coast Guard has been searching nonstop and finally detected noises from under the water and are focusing their search in that area. Dr. Karson says it's a good start, but they now need to detect exactly where the sound came from.
In previous searches, there have been sounds that came up that no one could explain. The ocean's very big. Ocean water transmits sound for very long distances.
Dr. Karson says the last resort for the Titan would be to drop weight so it can float to the surface.
They've either had trouble dropping the weights, if were unable to do that for some reason, or they've dropped the weights and maybe the submarine is entangled or trapped near some of that wreckage.
The next course of action would be to send a remote-operated vehicle down to locate the submarine. But Dr. Karson says it will be hard to find the small minivan-sized vessel in the pitch black. Water absorbs light, so even with lights, the distance it would go is very limited.
We'll have lights on it, cameras, video, so they can drive that around remotely and find the submarine eventually. There's a lot of urgency here. And, the best people are working on it.
Well, Matt, rescue crews confirm at this stage it's still an active search and rescue mission, and we'll keep you updated on any developments.
I think we're kind of all on the edge of our seat, wondering how this is going to turn out. Reaction to our I-Team investigation uncovering concerning practices in the North Syracuse School District. A child with autism denied care recommended by experts and then strapped to a chair in the classroom.
The North Syracuse Central School District settled a 5-year legal battle by paying this child more than $1.5 million. Our investigation turning up new and similar complaints from another family of a child with autism. I-Team investigative reporter Mary Keeler is in the studio with us right now. Mary?
Tonight, a Syracuse mom who says she's never stopped fighting to get her son with autism the opportunities he deserves is applauding the 2 families who took on Central New York's largest suburban school district. Clarice Coleman is a mom and an advocate. Her son Chase, who is nonverbal and is on the autism spectrum, made headlines far beyond Syracuse in the fall of 2016. A man shoved him to the ground while he was running at a cross-country meet in Rochester. The incident sparked community support for him and calls for inclusion.
We have to just keep fighting for our children to our very last breath, and that is what our children deserve.
I came to Clarice with my investigation of not 1 but 2 lawsuits against the North Syracuse School District brought by parents of students with autism. Federal court records from the first lawsuit, originally filed in 2018, show how a boy's parents claim the district denied necessary services to their, quote, severely autistic child.
What were your initial thoughts? Tell me what you're thinking.
The first thing I thought was heartbreak and sadness. The next thing I was angry. The advocate in me was very angry with the district.
In depositions, the boy's parents learned their child was strapped into a chair to restrain him during the 2016-2017 school year.
They didn't do their job. They did what was easy for them to maintain and control a classroom. It's not about controlling a classroom. It's about educating each child in that classroom. When the dad made his comment about his child not being able to say, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'm hurting, I'm this, that was the part that made me want to cry. because I know what that's like for my son.
While investigating this first family's claims, I uncovered a newly filed lawsuit from another family in the North Syracuse School District. The parents of a 5-year-old girl with autism claiming their child was strapped to a chair in the classroom during the 2021-2022 school year. This family's complaint stating it was investigated by state police and the state education department, and the district was ordered to stop the practice.
What does that say to you about what the district is doing or still doing that's not working?
They're getting better at hiding it, but they're not that good at it because it's going to get exposed.
Clarice says parents in both these cases did what they had to do, taking the district to court.
Kudos to you, because obviously that district was not trying to do better for their child.
With one case settled and another just getting started, she says the time is now for school leaders in North Syracuse to make change.
Make real changes. Include the parents, the ones who live it every day.
Inspired by her son Chase, Clarice Coleman started a support organization for parents who care for kids and adults with autism. We have information on that on our website, cnycentral.com. And as for those 2 lawsuits, the North Syracuse School District has repeatedly declined our request for comment, saying they can't speak about either case. We invite them to speak with us about what they're doing in response to these lawsuits anytime.